All right, welcome everyone to Mark Hummel's Harmonica Party. And I'm sitting here with Elvin Bishop and Bob Welsh. And they play together in the Big Fun Trio. And we're just going to talk to Elvin and Bob, and we're going to concentrate on Elvin's past, his future, songwriting, guitar playing, all the things that go into making music for Elvin Bishop. And you were born in California, is that right?
Yeah, my dad was in the Army, and he was stationed in Glendale, or down, by LA someplace. And it was 1942, it was during World War II. And we were there for a year or two. Then we moved back to his homeland, which is Iowa.
Oh, okay. So,
and
so
then,
Oklahoma came later.
moved to Oklahoma when I was about 10, I think.
From what I recall, you got into music as a teenager, like through the radio?
Yeah, I listened to stations like WLAC in Nashville.
Right.
Like a whole lot of, that's how a whole lot of white guys got exposed to blues.
Right.
In the 50s. And I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is on the prairie. It's basically flat.
Right.
And all the local stations would close down at midnight, and then stations from far away would come in. We could hear WLAC. And they were playing the good stuff at that time.
Yeah.
Middle 50s.
So what was it that caught your ear about blues back then?
I don't know. I remember the first blues tune that really got me going was I listened to, I'm sitting there, it's after midnight, I'm not supposed to be up anymore. And I had one of these big old radios, and the tubes are glowing orange in the dark, and Jimmy Reed comes on with that sharp cutting harp on Honest I Do.
Right.
I said, oh, God damn, that's it, I'm gone.
And you ended up cutting that later, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who were your favorites back then on the radio, besides Jimmy Reed?
I like Lightning Slim. I like Lightning Hopkins, John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, Wolf, guys like that.
Yeah. And then how do you end up on the guitar?
Well, I used to go to these dances when I was in junior high school. I noticed all the girls were gathered around the guitar players. I went out and got a guitar at the pawn shop, but I didn't know what I was doing. The strings were about that far off the fingerboard. I worked on it, and there's nobody in the neighborhood play guitar, not nobody in my family. I was trying to learn some chords out of a book, and I was trying to mash those strings down. I said, damn, this guitar is hard. I get the hell with this. And then I go back to the next dance, and there those girls were again. And I said, better get back on it.
It was female persuasion.
I think that's what does it for most guys.
I think you're right. Yeah, true. So, and then you ended up getting a merit scholarship, is that right?
Yeah.
To go to, was it University of Chicago?
I didn't know. I could basically go where I wanted to, which was a blessing because my family had no money. I knew I wanted to go to Chicago because I didn't know enough to realize that that's where blues was happening.
Right. So you already knew that.
And so it was between University of Chicago and Northwestern. And I didn't know the difference between them. Northwestern turns out to be
is that Evanston?
Yeah. A suburb where there's not too much hip stuff going on,
Right.
And by sheer luck, I ended up at the University of Chicago, which is
right in the south side,
in an island in the middle of the South Side ghetto called Hyde Park.
Right.
Within a week, I was down there with Muddy Waters, and first blues band I ever saw.
That's amazing.
Muddy Waters, Otis Spann, Willie Big Eye Smith, Pat Hare, James Cotton. I said, damn,
that's a pretty good story.
these blues bands are pretty good. Wow, this is great.
Yeah. And like, is it true that a week after you moved there that you met Butterfield? Like pretty much like soon
I
as you-
think I met him the first or second day I was there.
Wow.
Just luck. He lived in Hyde Park.
Right, I knew that.
Yeah, he'd gone to Hyde Park High School. At the time, he didn't play any harmonica to speak of. He played guitar.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. And it took him about 6 months.
On the guitar, you mean, or the harp? Oh, on the harp, right.
Yeah, when he started playing harp,
Just
it's just a natural genius.
went right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I love the story I heard you tell about that when you first got to Chicago, you were living like in an abandoned mansion or something on the south side.
No, it wasn't a mansion.
What was it?
Well, they pulled the same thing they did in San Francisco. They called it urban renewal.
Right.
Basically, what it was trying to get rid of the black people, you know,
Mhm.
in certain areas. So they had all these empty houses, but kind of old and beat up. And they messed up and left the electricity and the running water on.
So amazing.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
So I just go find a good one and squat there for a
Wow.
couple of minutes.
That is so wild. And you're going to school at the same time?
I think this was after I got kicked out of school.
Oh, you got kicked out of school.
Not exactly kicked out,
Yeah.
but I just kind of.
Now, what was your major back then?
I started out in physics because the scholarship was sponsored by the steel company, and that sounded good to them. And I got there and I got all the way up to calculus, and then I said, I can't handle this, you know. The fortunate thing was University of Chicago was the type of school where all you had to do was pass the test. You didn't have to go to class if you could pass the test.
Really?
Yeah. So I'd just go get lost in the ghetto and hang out at Smokey's house.
So is Smokey one of the first cats you met on the south side?
Yeah, pretty close to some of the first, yeah.
You played a little bit with Hound Dog Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know
You did your homework, Mark.
Well, no, I've known this stuff about you for a long time. You know, one of the things I was going to say that, you know, when you came by and said in the other day, that I just realized when I watch you play, and the fact that you like learn to play with your fingers all of a sudden, that just blows my mind. You've only been doing that like 5 years or something?
Yeah. It just, I felt more natural. I got tired of all the licks I had with the pick, you know.
Right.
I
So you're
said,
kind
"I'll
of changing
open it up
things
and-"
up. Yeah.
It's more of a
Yeah.
direct feeling.
Yeah. But that watching you play, as long as, I mean, I've been watching you play. I don't even know if you know this, but I mean, I've been seeing you play since about 1975.
Wow.
Something like that. I know the first time I saw you, you were sitting there with Grayson Street
Yeah.
at the Keystone. And the thing about you is, and I notice this about a lot of players, there's the people that are really blues players, it's like there's just this direct line to blues that they play out of their guitar. And you got that. I think Bob has that. Rusty's got that. You guys have this thing, and it's just like a direct line into the music when you play.
I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds good.
Well, I mean, it's just that's you are just a blues guitar player. I mean, whether you're playing rock,
Well,
kinda
that's
doesn't
basically
matter.
what I'm interested in. you
Yeah.
know?
And I mean, you know, the other thing is just, to me, the fact that you learn from all these cats in the South Side, like Hound Dog and Smokey, and I know Sammy Lawhorn showed you stuff early on.
Right. Otis Rush was real nice. He showed me
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. But, he's left-handed, but it didn't make much difference.
Right.
It was more the
Right.
feeling of, wow, I'm sitting here with Otis Rush.
That's
This is
so
cool,
mind-boggling.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you knew Magic Sam a little bit too?
Yeah. He was a real nice guy. I got to know him more so when we both got to the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he lived down here for a little bit,
He used to play
like 3 months or
in
something.
Berkeley a lot.
Right.
The New Orleans house. You ever
Right.
remember that place?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Mandrake's, I think, too.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Sammy Lawhorn, there's a great story where Elvin showed up to a Junior Wells gig, and Junior Wells had no idea that Elvin was showing up to play.
Nobody was getting rich in those days. You were making $10-12 a night, you know.
Right.
And there was somebody
That's still
offered you 15. You're gone.
Right.
It's like
That was good money back then.
yeah. And Sammy got an offer to play with Muddy on a tour down south, you know.
Oh, okay.
But he was scared to tell Junior, so he stayed in that hotel, the Del Morocco, by the Blue Flame Club, you know.
Yeah.
And we'd sit up there, and he taught me all the Junior's tunes as well as he could.
Yeah.
So he said, "Go down there Tuesday and play with Junior." And I went down there. I said, "Hello, Junior." He said, "Hello. Who are you?" I said, "My name's Bishop. Sammy sent me here to take his place for the next 2 weeks." Junior says, "He did." And he took me in the back and tried me out on some of the tunes. And he saw that I halfway knew them. And
Right.
anyway, it's too late. He couldn't do no better anyway. Right then. So
Too late, baby.
I'll tell you what Junior taught me. He said, "Now, if you want your time to be really good, don't pat your foot like this with your toe.
Oh, interesting.
Pat it with your heel."
With the heel.
Yeah. Bob knows how to play Chicago blues a lot better than I do.
Well,
he really plays it like
I think you both play it.
I don't know. I've never been able to really get some of those parts exactly like the guys played it. You know, I just kind of
And I know
feeling.
Tucker's another guy you were around quite a bit. I remember.
I love Tuck. Yeah.
I remember seeing you with Tucker back. You guys were Tucker was doing a KPFA radio show. This was in about 1976, and you just happened to show up for it.
Yeah.
It was with Gary Silva and Derek Walker and a bunch of guys. I don't know if you remember that when KPFA was upstairs
Yeah.
in Berkeley.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was obviously you guys were real tight.
Tuck's was a great musician.
He was.
I
Indeed.
It was a sad thing when he passed away. I had dreams about him for a couple of years after
Did ya?
he passed away. Yeah. I dreamed I went to his house and knocked on the door, and he came. He had his pajamas on. I said, "Oh, thank God you didn't die after all." Then I woke up.
I remember when he lived right down the road here. Man. I think Musselwhite was telling me that he used to stay at Tucker's house when he first came out here too.
Oh yeah, yeah, could be.
How did you go? Now you joined Butterfield in, was it 63 or 64, something like that?
Yeah.
So when you guys first came out here, I mean, it seems to me that Butterfield Blues Band was really kind of this earth-shaking thing on the West Coast, because basically all the hippie bands were here, and then you guys made it to the Avalon and then the Fillmore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the musicians out here weren't really prepared for what you guys could do, in the sense of that you were much more advanced musically.
Blues musicians were expected to have a certain amount of technique and sophistication in their playing. And I think the rock music out here came sort of more directly from folk music.
True.
Where you just strum.
That's a good point.
Instead of
Good
playing
point.
on it.
Yeah. But I mean, it seems like, you guys really started something, I think, by coming out here and playing for Bill Graham. And then eventually you guys, I assume, toured all over the States a certain amount. I don't know how much.
Well, when the Butterfield Band first went on the road, they didn't know what the hell to do with us, because there wasn't an established circuit for this type of thing.
Right.
One got established in the next couple of years, but they'd try us in a jazz club one time, and maybe a university next week, and then a club in the ghetto next week. And they didn't know what the hell to do with us.
And did you have a booking agency? Is that how you getting gigs? Or
yeah,
they just called him up?
He had a manager, this guy, Albert Grossman.
Oh, Grossman.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And he kind of, I had something to do with the booking. I didn't even know what a booking agent was.
Right.
But half the time we'd have to stay in the black part of town because
you had black guys in the band.
Yeah, they wouldn't. This was before civil rights.
Right. You guys started as a quartet, and I have to say, and I know Musselwhite kind of said the same thing. He goes, I kind of like the quartet the best. so
he does Musselwhite almost as good as you, Bob.
And it seemed like when you guys were doing the quartet, it was much more of a kind of classic blues band kind of thing that you were doing,
Yeah.
like Walter covers and
I don't think it maybe would have crossed over quite so strong if
right,
Bloomfield hadn't been in it. So
right,
he had that kind of, it's sort of the same reason Joe Bonamassa is
right.
really
It's like the
real
extra
popular.
push. Yeah, yeah.
But,
Very flashy.
which ain't my cup of tea, but
Right, right. Well, that's why I dug your playing back then, because it was like I heard that record. It's actually on here, that Rare Gems record,
yeah,
and you playing with Billy Boy and Cotton,
right.
and I heard you playing on that, and I went, "Wow, he really knows that stuff." Really
I
impressive.
always thought that the more where Butterfield really had his strongest thing was when he stayed in the blues format,
Right.
And the more he spread out from that, he kind of lost strength. it seemed
Yeah,
like.
no, I can dig that. Yeah, and I mean the one thing I think about Butterfield is just he had a real strength for covering a lot of different ground in the band. That he played. He would do R&B, he would do hardcore blues, he would do New
Yeah.
Orleans R&B. You might do a Percy Mayfield song or something like that, and that he featured guys, and that was another thing I thought was really cool.
Well, that a lot of that comes from playing 5 or 6 shows a night.
Right.
It's the same reason that the level of musicianship was high in Chicago, because I don't care if you're Muddy Waters or who you are, when it gets 2 o'clock in the morning, it stays open until 4 or 5. You're glad to see anybody come and help you. It's like an employment agency. You go and sit in with somebody, you want to make a good showing, so you learn their tunes.
Right.
So you end up learning a lot of different tunes.
Right.
And
that's great for musicians, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. By the time you left in '69, he had added horns and had gone more in a, what would you say, like R&B direction maybe? Or how would you
Yeah, a little
describe
bit
that?
more. It was fun playing with the horns, so that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Was it 2 horn players? Is that what it was?
It varied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
Yeah, I wish there was more video footage of that lineup. That there's some at the Monterey,
That's
Rock
right.
Festival, where you can hear it,
Yeah.
and it sounds great because they're doing like a drifting and drifting.
Right. That's great, actually.
Mark Neftlin arranged that. He made a nice arrangement.
Yeah, that was a good arrangement.
David Sanborn used to kill on a lot of stuff.
So he was in the band when you were in there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he was awesome. And he stayed in, I think, right to the end, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's on the very last album, so he was in there till the end. And so, like, what exactly determined when you wanted? Oh, I had one more question I wanted to ask. Tell me about the resurrection of Big Boy Crabshaw. What's the story on that?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't fly places. We drove. Didn't matter how far they were,
Right.
I remember one time I sat on my amplifier in the back of this Econoline van from New York to Los Angeles. So
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine that right now.
We stopped in Arizona and bought a blanket, and we had big fights over who got to use the blanket for the rest of the thing. It got cold,
Oh my God.
But I spent a lot of time driving, so just making stuff up.
People just make up things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was it? Where did you decide you wanted to start your own band?
Late 60s, I guess. It's a normal thing,
Yeah.
You get to do 1 or 2 songs that are really close to your heart every night, and then after a while, the feeling starts creeping in on you. What if I got to do all the songs that I wanted?
Mm-hmm.
And
I hope you don't get feeling like that too soon, Bob.
well, no, things are different now, And
Yeah.
I think I remember you telling me that, your first record deal, that you kind of had a little help maybe from some of the members of Jefferson Airplane. I think you might have been in the same place.
Indirectly, yeah. They had a law. It was against the law to be in a place where marijuana was being consumed. And I was at a party at the Jefferson Airplane's house. I was drinking. I wasn't, smoking weed, but they put me in jail anyway.
Wow.
And their lawyer came and got me out. He said, "Have you got a record contract?" I said, "No." He said, "You want one?"
Wow.
Yeah. So he got
That's
one
pretty
with
easy.
Bill Graham. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was with Capricorn Records?
No, that was with Bill Graham's label.
Bill Graham's label.
Oh.
Fillmore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you had Applejack in there, and I think wasn't Steve Miller on the record? I know Applejack's on it.
Yeah, on the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think Steve Miller was.
Was he not on that record?
He was on the next one, maybe
Right.
the second one or the third one.
Right. And I forget the name of the drummer and bass player that you had back then. But I know Gary Smith told me he used to come see, Bull Jr. and Gary Smith used to come see you all the time back in the day. I think you had a Tuesday night gig in Palo Alto. Gary said he used to come to all the
Gary
time.
Smith, how's he doing?
He's doing good.
I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah. Well, he used to come see you all the time, he told me. And he said Elvin was just wicked. And Watson said the same thing. He said one time he went to see you 3 gigs in a row.
Glutton for punishment.
No, he said that you were incredible. He goes, Elvin would just play different solos. I watched him play the same song, 3 times in one day, and he played different solos on every one. Yeah, he was real impressed. And then Joe Baker, she came into the band, about 3 albums in or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So obviously you were writing at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would think that it would help to be writing when you have somebody else that's singing. It probably makes it a little bit easier to write. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that plays a part in it?
That's probably true. If you're writing for yourself, then you got to deal with your own limitations, and you have to write within those.
Right.
You're writing like Joe Baker had a really nice range and soulful quality.
Right.
So,
Well, when you wrote, Fool Around, you kind of had that little chord structure. You were saying, maybe when you were living with Gidgen, you had that kind of little chord structure you were messing with, and then you kind of came back to it. And did Mickey singing on it? Or just
I tried to talk 2 or 3 people into singing it. Joe Baker.
She didn't want to do it.
Didn't quite butter the biscuit for her. And then Ricky Kellogg.
Oh yeah,
really?
He had
Wow.
a great voice, but
Yeah.
he didn't, have a feeling for the
Didn't
tune.
relate to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great song. That's really that's great songwriting. You were
There you go, being nice.
No, I'm serious. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, just your construction of the way you put together songs. You obviously put a lot of care, and you must have patience to be able to write like that. Because I know from myself, a lot of times I kind of rush job songs. They'll come out, and I won't really mess with them all that much afterwards. And you seem to put a lot of care into how you put them all together.
Try to get them as good as possible,
Yeah.
I've always been lucky because I've had really great musicians in my band, and my MO would be to write as much of the tune as I could, then bring it to a rehearsal and not give anybody any hints, just see what people could come up with, because I figure you're limiting yourself if you don't get all the help you can with something,
Good point. Which is why you got this guy.
No, he's in the band for good looks. No,
he wasn't wearing his glasses when he hired me.
Bob's a great. He's the most indie man guy I know.
He sure is.
He does things with
Absolutely.
Musselwhite,
Yeah.
uh,
T-Birds.
T-Birds, yeah, all kinds of people.
I'll tell you one thing, is that I've never experienced, being in a band where I've had a band leader such as yourself, but also, I mean that in a great band leader.
He goes, man.
But
We're all buttering you up, though.
Yeah.
But the guitar parts that Elvin comes up with, we do these 2 guitar parts, and I'm
Right.
really proud of, because
Yeah.
Nobody really does that.
No.
I can't think of anybody, and
Pretty
that's
unusual.
and the stuff that Elvin comes up with, I would never think of.
Yeah.
So it's like really a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of been one of your trademarks for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to say I remember I saw you, believe it or not, I saw you on Midnight Special one time
Uh-huh.
with Johnny V and the band.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was, I think, when you must have just signed the Capricorn deal. And you really had all the 2 guitar stuff worked out back then. That's when I first remember that.
Yeah. We worked on that stuff.
Was part of that because of the label that you guys were on? The fact it was kind of the Allman Brothers, same label as the Allman Brothers, or not really?
No, and there wasn't really an Allman Brothers influence.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've heard live recordings of him and Bloomfield together.
Right.
Where they're doing like "Get Out My Life, Woman," and
Doing the parts together?
And there's this one part, where I think, Bloomfield was like doing something like that, and then like Elvin like copies him up high, like.
Oh, interesting.
It just sounds
okay.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
they were doing that. They probably influenced the Allman Brothers. These
That
2
wouldn't
guys.
surprise me.
That would make more sense to me.
Yeah. No, I think you guys had quite a reach in that band, the 2 guitar thing.
Yeah, definitely. They were a big influence on
Yeah.
that whole thing.
So,
Dwayne Allman was great. So was Dickie.
Oh yeah,
It was
they're
fun.
fabulous, man.
yeah.
I was
For
thinking
sure.
about that too, Ramblin' Man. What a great song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Words and music.
Right. That's Dickie Betts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My idea, aside from Bob, the best guitar player in America today is Derek Trucks, I think.
Oh, Derek is a great guitar player.
And he's very much about slide.
Yeah, but he's not Dwayne Jr.
Yeah.
He plays in that open E tuning,
Mm-hmm.
but he does so much more with it.
Yeah, he's almost like a lead guitar player.
Yeah, well, he is a lead
He is a lead guitar player, yeah.
But he can play. I hear influences from gospel singers and saxophone players and everything in his playing.
Interesting. Yeah.
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 Most guys who play slide just wang it straight across,
Right.
But he'll search out different combinations of notes, and
So he's really got a unique thing to what he does.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of slide, Earl Hooker seems to have been a pretty huge influence on you.
He was an eye opener to me
Yeah.
because most people, like the Southern rock guys, most of them, they'll put the slide on their middle finger
Mm-hmm.
so they can support it on either side with these 2 fingers, and that keeps it. And they use, maybe it seems like a big heavy slide, and they kind of
Right.
need to do that, otherwise you lose control.
Right.
Earl Hooker put a little small
Oh, interesting.
slide on his little finger that left all these open to play the guitar just like regular.
Right.
And he figured out how to actually pick out melodies and stuff instead of just relying on what came under your hand.
Right. So he tended to use it like just for embellishments, but then he could play a lead right under that.
Yeah, you'll hear that in his songs.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Did you know him at all?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he lived up to all the
music-wise? He was
just
the
phenomenal.
He was the greatest.
Yeah.
He was recognized in Chicago as the greatest guitar player.
Right.
He could go up. He
Yeah.
could go up on anybody's bandstand,
Right.
and not even ask permission. Just go like this, and the guitar player would give it up.
Yeah. Wow.
And he'd just start playing.
Yeah. I heard a story about him and Beattie together playing a guitar battle one time. Yeah.
That should have been interesting.
I would think.
And didn't you also say that every time you saw Earl Hooker play, he had a different guitar, kind of a thing?
Yeah, he was kind of like Hubert. He could get any old pawn shop guitar and make it sound great.
Right.
He sounded best on. I forget the name of the guitar, like Federal or something like that. And those pawn shop guitars that had the pickups with the holes,
Yeah.
Nationals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there's that guitar that I've sort of, you've been lending me, that airline guitar.
Yeah, right.
And he has I think Willie Johnson played one of those.
Did he play an airline?
I think so. Yeah.
Did you get to see him at all?
No, I
Willie
don't
Johnson.
know anything about him.
Yeah.
He was a guy that played on the old Wolf records.
Yeah, on the old Wolf records. Yeah. Yeah. And you saw Wolf a lot, I guess.
I saw him a couple times, not a lot.
Mm-hmm. You see Jimmy Reed back then?
Never saw him.
Really? Wow.
I never saw him. I never saw Sonny Boy. I pretty much stuck to Peppers and Teresa's, and there's a lot of places I didn't go then.
Right.
What about Little Walter?
But I saw him a couple of times. I actually played with him one time.
Did you really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
How'd that happen?
We used to have these things called twist parties at the University of Chicago
Oh yeah.
at Ida B. Noyes Hall. And we'd have a Wednesday night jam session. Everybody, all jazz musicians would come, blues musicians, anybody. And one night Walter showed up.
Wow. Now, was this while you were playing with Butterfield?
It might have been.
Mm-hmm. But he just got up there and started playing.
Yeah, I think he played with us with the Butterfield Band at Big John's one time.
Wow.
How was he?
Nervous.
Was he?
I don't think he felt comfortable in those situations.
Right.
But,
Around a bunch of white people, kind of thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been something else. Maybe
Right.
he didn't have whatever he was used to having, But he sounded great.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And when Elvin was a teenager, he saw like Buddy Holly and Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, one night, and they came.
Is that a King's Ballroom or something?
No. They used to have these, I don't know if this was the Dick Clark one or a different one, but they'd have these bus tours where they'd have like 20 good acts, and they'd come around, they'd just play in some big auditorium in every town,
Right.
I remember Larry Williams was on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And,
Boney Maroon.
Yeah. Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Holly. I told you about Chuck Berry.
Oh yeah, Chuck Berry.
Nobody knew much about electric instruments.
All right.
He'd do this thing. He'd take the plug and stick it halfway in and go, Brad. He said, I think it needs some super anarchist.
That's great. So, fooled around and fell in love. That was how hot was that record? Did that go to number one?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. So it was in the top 10, basically.
I think it made it to number 3.
Number 3.
Or about what happened.
Yeah. So would you say that changed your world when it did that? Pretty much.
I guess it did. It booted us up into we were heading in a pretty good direction anyway before that happened, and yeah, we started playing a lot of big gigs.
Yeah, and be the headliner pretty much.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And was that Terry in there at that point? Terry Hank? Fly obviously was in there.
Yeah, Terry, I think he was. According to him, I read some kind of thing. Oh, when he did that Wednesday night thing at the Little Fox,
Right.
and they give you that blast on the computer, and it's, I guess, Mindy Giles kind of. She said he had movie star good looks, and then he did some quote about riding around in limos with us with the Butterfield Band,
You don't recall that.
His face is missing all the album covers.
He was all the way to the left.
He's a great musician.
No, he is a great musician.
A lot of fun to play
I
with.
love Terry. Yeah. Like I said, the first time I saw you was Terry and Ricky's band, Grayson Street.
Grayson Street, yeah.
I remember another time I saw you at the Coffee Gallery. You came to one of Otis's gigs, and it was kind of surreal because you and Otis were both at the bar, and I heard him say, he goes, "Yeah, I just saw you on TV."
Otis, which Otis is that?
Otis Rush.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he said that to you, and I thought, that's going to be kind of weird for Elvin. Hear Otis Rush going for that.
Coffee Gallery?
Yeah, the Coffee Gallery in San Francisco, North Beach.
Huh.
Yeah.
After the first 10,000, they kind of
I know what you
get
mean.
lost.
Yeah, I know. But I was going to say on that solo, to me, that solo is very much of a blues solo on Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people cover that song. A lot of great bands and everything,
Yeah.
but nobody ever gets the solo worth anything,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, the singer might be good and they might be playing the perfect bass and piano part.
Yeah.
But no one can ever play the guitar part right. So
Well, it's very much your.
I can play it right half the time.
No, it's very much your thing that you're doing on that solo there. Yeah. You even sneak in a Luther Tucker lick on there at the very end.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Well, just a word out to all the bands that play Fool Around. That's how Elvin judges you, not from anybody else, but can you play the guitar part right?
If you can't,
Most of you can't. Sorry.
right?
As long as they put a few pennies in the mailbox, they can play it the way they want.
That's right.
That's right.
So you've gone from leading bands for quite some time now to basically
150 years only.
Yeah, I'm sure it feels like that. But going from that to all of a sudden trimming it down to a trio, what would you say was that kind of just feeling like you needed a break or something different?
Kind of the opposite. I always like to kind of make sure everybody's getting enough to keep themselves satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like the horns and the piano and 7 or 8 pieces, and I spent a lot of time standing around dishing out solos to different people.
Right.
And finally I said, man, I need to just get it down and just get more direct with it,
Yeah.
And it's been a beneficial experience in some ways, because it's tightened up my rhythm playing. And I'm trying to keep up with Bob. Is a hell of a job, I'll tell you.
Well, I really hear that you come from a country blues place when you're playing in that. format.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, even something like What the Hell, and the way you're playing like in an A position. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, just something like that is very much that country blues kind of thing.
Sitting up under a big oak tree, hungry as a bear. My stomach sent a telegram to my throat saying, it's been a wreck on the road somewhere. You talk about your stewing beef, turkey stuffed and dressed. I heard the voice of the pork chop say, come on to me and rest.
Is this a new one?
No. That's from the 1920s, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. That's great.
You ought to see some of the menus that Elvin has scattered about the walls here, man.
Really?
Classic places on the road in
Oh,
Louisiana,
cool.
and Arkansas. You can look in there. It's like steak and lobster, $5, and but just like great soul food stuff.
I was going to say, I mean, you've been at it long enough that you've really seen the U.S. change in this dramatic way in terms of the road.
Yeah. It's a fact. The romance of travel has worn off.
Yeah.
Sure. On me, anyway.
Yeah.
I've already been everywhere now.
Gas was a lot cheaper in the 70s.
Gas was a lot cheaper.
So were flights.
Oh,
Amen. Yeah. Right. Fly for $20 from San Francisco to LA. Yeah.
These days, flying is really difficult.
Yeah. All the romance is definitely gone. No doubt.
I was saying just to other musicians that might feel our pain, airlines have been in the habit this summer of leaving behind, say, the heavier, luggage,
Oversized items.
oversized
Yeah.
items.
I heard it was like a ton and a half of luggage that's been lost.
Whew, I'm glad ours hasn't been lost, but I'm pretty sure it gets left behind on purpose. So that
Could be.
Get on other flights, because there's like oversold or too many people or whatever. Like that.
Have you ever lost a guitar for good?
I've had some totally wrecked.
Have you?
Yeah. Not by I lost a guitar for years. Fell out of the back of an equipment truck in Canada. And showed up 6 or 7 years later.
Oh, wow.
Was it still playable?
Kind
Kind of.
of. Yeah.
Right. Well, trying to think of anything else I wanted to ask you.
We got to do that song about the pork chop.
Oh, yeah.
We'll throw that in there somewhere.
That's that guy that says, I'm doing this. I know I'm doing this. This just suits me.
Well, do you feel? You must feel lucky, I would think.
Huh?
You must feel lucky about just the way your career has gone.
I am lucky. I've been in the right place at the right time. An unfair number of times.
Right.
Well, we have some gigs with Charlie coming up.
Right. That was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is that record that you guys do.
Yeah.
Because that is such a great record. And to me, it's like, of all the things you and Charlie have done over the years separately, that album together is a real masterpiece. Just the way you guys were able to blend, and it sounds totally organic. It doesn't sound forced at all. And just, you guys, well, I mean, it's great because Bob has played.
Put that together.
I was going to say, Bob has played with both of you guys for so long. I mean, especially been playing with Charlie for years now. And that he knows both of your styles really well.
It's, and Bob has such a great knowledge of old blues that Charlie and I'll sit down and we're doing the best we can, but he knows exactly what needs to
How to
be
pull it
added
together,
to make the whole thing work good.
Right.
Well, it's easy for me because I'm playing with two legends, who are delivering blues in such a way that you want it to sound like, and so I just.
Gee, we're saying all the right things, aren't we, Bob?
I'm telling you, there's no discrepancies here.
But yeah, we're playing at and I think you might have played there recently, or you have gig at the SF Jazz
Oh yeah, we played there. Yeah, about a month and a half.
about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
At an auditorium. Is it the same place?
Well,
where we
you guys
were
were playing. It was when we did the blow up.
Right.
Yeah, you guys were playing the minor, I think, right? Is that
I
what
think
you
so.
played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine.
And the last time I played, we played in the Joe Henderson lab
Oh, okay. I got you.
when I played with Anson and Rusty there.
But didn't we play the minor?
But yeah, we played the minor with Mail
With me, yeah.
on that one. Yeah, yeah, that's a great room.
That is a good room. Good,
Really good
not a
sound.
bad seat in the house.
Yeah, sure is. But you and Charlie go way back. I mean, you guys are really kind of the, the original Chicago cats, that came out here back in the 60s.
Yeah. Well, one year, just about half the blues musicians
In Chicago.
in Chicago came.
True.
Cotton and
Yeah, Cotton and
Tucker
Tucker.
and Magic Sam. And
Right.
I don't know who all.
Did Butterfield live out here for a minute?
He might have. I don't know, but I don't think so. Bloomfield did.
Right.
Butterfield lived in New York, I think, pretty much. Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Yeah.
Now, what made you choose? Did you end up in San Francisco first and then Marin County, or
Yeah.
how did that work? Or was that true of Mike as well?
Well, the first place I stayed that I can remember was Bloomfield let me take over his house when he moved out. It was in Mill Valley.
Oh, okay.
Then I moved to the city and I stayed in a house with this guy, Gideon Daniels. You ever heard of him?
Weren't you talking about him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an amazing, amazing guy. His dad was a preacher in Philadelphia, and he used to go on the road with the Mighty Clouds of Joy,
Wow.
Clara Ward, and people like that.
Too much, man.
We used to go eat at a place which is down by the Winterland called Brother Parker's.
Uh-huh.
Little hole in the wall place. Great soul food, real cheap, and they had a jukebox that was just full of quartet records, old
Right.
50s gospels.
Wow. You had the right name, Gideon, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did he mentor Mickey Thomas at all?
Yes. He used to. His dream was kind of a rainbow band, He had Filipino guys and Japanese guys. Had this guy Ross Irish. They were all great singers. My sister made him dashikis,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd be singing, and Gideon taught him how to testify.
Yeah.
He was a Japanese guy. And
Must have been great.
thank you, Jesus.
That is great. That's the other thing I wanted to mention is I remember one time we were doing a benefit, I think, that you played for me, and my parents were there, and I told my mom that you spoke Japanese, and I introduced you to her, and she taught English in Japan,
Oh.
and you two were talking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you learned to write it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that's a big undertaking.
Just like a big crossword puzzle, The more,
Well, you're being modest.
well, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And what inspired you to learn that?
I did several tours of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and they were big on the Fillmore thing was a big deal to them,
Right.
And I'd be walking around with the Japanese musicians, and I'd ask. I was fascinated by the looks of the writing on the signs. I said, "What does that say? What does that say?"
Mm-hmm.
And I got tired of asking them, so I bought a little book. There's 3 forms of writing in Japan. It's katakana, which is what they write foreign words with, It's what's used on the signs mostly. And hiragana, which is a script type of deal. And then kanji, which is the Chinese-looking letters.
Oh, okay.
There's only 50 of the katakana and 50 of the hiragana. And I said, well, that was pretty easy. I'll try the kanji. You know, 2,000 you need to read the
Oh
newspaper.
my
You know?
God.
So you
Wow.
got to settle in for a long experience of learning.
Sounds like it, yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you discovered the Pointer Sisters, right? Did
I
you discover them
guess so.
in a church or something in Oakland?
Their dad was a preacher, but I don't think I discovered him in a church. I don't remember how that happened.
Oh, okay. But they ended up singing with
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah,
Before they went sky high.
right.
Yeah. Right. Well, you've had a lot of discoveries in your bands. You know?
Lucky.
Yeah. That's something. Okay, well, anything else? Am I
Can't think
missing
of a thing.
anything?
I think you covered everything.
Okay, I'm sure I'll think of about 10 things when I leave here. Well, thank you very much, Elvin.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Thanks, Bob.
Good job.